Hey everyone, my name is Chloe and welcome to the start of a June new releases reading vlog. So if you guys didn't see my June anticipated videos, plural, because there were so many, there are so many books coming out in June that I'm excited about. So I have 3 or 4 that I have gotten from NetGalley or from various places, and I'm going to read them and let you guys know what I think. So I just started today. Today's June 7th maybe, and I just started The Rom-Comers by Katherine. So this one comes out June 11th, so it comes out on Tuesday, and so far so cute. Like, she just has a writing style that is so rom-com. I mean, it's like, it's cute, it's fun, it's engaging, it's, you know, it's nothing life-changing so far, but this is about our main character. I can't even remember her name, but she is like a struggling screenwriter, and she's struggling not because she's bad, but because her father has a like pretty serious condition that needs a lot of care, so she's his caretaker, and she's always prioritized him. And so she gets this opportunity to go work with this really famous screenwriter who's trying to branch into the rom-com territory. And it's very foreign to him, and his first attempt is terrible. And so her best friend is his agent, and so she gets the opportunity to go work with him. And when she does that, that means handing her dad off to her sister, who is young and naive. It means living with this guy in the guest room, and it just means trying to sunshine a grumpy guy. And so far it's pretty cute. Like, he's grumpy for a lot of good reasons. We're finding out slowly but surely why. She is sunshiny, but not like annoyingly so. She's very real, and overall, like, it's just got that tone. It's nothing that I'm like can't stop reading, but it's good, and like I'm entertained while I'm reading it. So right now I'm going to pick up some pictures from Walgreens for my girls' scrapbooks, because it's Friday, and on Sunday we're having a birthday party for one of my girls, and one of the things at every birthday party I have their scrapbooks out, so I need to do some updating. So I'm getting pictures to do that. Just went by the library, got a bunch of books on hold, and then we're gonna have a wild Friday night, scrapbooking and reading. What could be better? Actually, it's like 90 degrees, but it's gonna start raining, so my girls might swim in our backyard pool for a little bit, but I'm gonna be working on party prep and all that kind of stuff. So that's what's going on today. I will update you when I have more to say about the Rom-Comers. I haven't been reading at night because I've been just zonking out, so I don't know how much reading I'll get done tonight, but we'll see. Hey everyone, so it is the next day, and I have finished the Rom-Comers. And so, like, just yesterday I was like, well, I haven't been staying up very late, so I haven't been listening, so I don't know how long this will take me. I did not stay up late. I actually was asleep, I think, by 9 o'clock last night, so didn't stay up to finish it. But I've been feeling a little slumpy, and I think part of it is because I just read a 500-page book physically, like a 500-plus page book physically, so I was with that for a long time. And then, I don't know, I listened to some nonfiction, and that just goes slower, and so I think it's because I haven't finished things. So this morning during my workout, I decided to take a long treadmill workout and just listen to the book, and so I did, and I finished it, and I just love Katherine. Was this the best book she's ever written? No. I didn't cry. I didn't, like, feel overly connected or like empathetic to either character, but I loved their story. And this does do one thing that I loathe in romance: when somebody lies to the other one to protect them from what they think they want. Like, let's just communicate. Okay, let's just communicate. Do you want this? Do you not? Here's the baggage that comes with being in a relationship with me. Here's what you like. You're good if you don't. I'm good with whatever. Like, the whole lying and turning away and pushing people away because you think you know what's best for them drives me up the wall. However, that part didn't last that long, I guess. Or at least it didn't feel like it. I think doing a big listening to a ton of it all at once is really helpful for making that not feel like it dragged on. So I really like that. And I just like both of our main characters. Both of our main characters have been through some stuff. So I think I said, but this book is about a screenwriter who writes rom-coms, a female screenwriter, Emma, I think is her name. She writes rom-coms, and she's going to help her, like, most adored, famous screenwriter who normally writes, like, sci-fi action flicks, and he's decided to write a rom-com, but it's terrible. And she goes, he like reluctantly decides to do the project with her, and they start becoming closer. He's really grumpy, she's really sunshine, and her resilience through this was almost like unbelievable. It was admirable, but it was also like, holy moly, like, girlfriend, wow. Her resilience is like through rejection and all that kind of stuff. She just pops right back up, and I really loved her for that, and could definitely take a note from that. And it was cute. It was so cute. I would probably give it a 4 stars. It was not my favorite, like I said, but it was really good. And yeah, it was great. So, huge win on that. You probably won't see this until later in the month, so it will already be out by the time you see this. So, yeah, and I just included a little vlog footage because I'm trying to actually vlog these vlogs instead of just making them like check-ins of when I finish books. But I have 3 little kids, and I only have 2 hands. And so vlogging plus managing children is very hard. However, it's Saturday, and my husband was with me. We took a family walk down to Starbucks and got some gift cards and some stuff there. Ran over to Price Chopper, the grocery store. Just did a little walk before it gets too unbearably hot because it's pretty nice out right now. So went and did that. And then tomorrow is my daughter's birthday party. So yeah, now they're out running some last minute errands for me, and I am here filming and prepping stuff. I'm making brownies. We're going to play like the saran wrap game where you put a bunch of stuff like goodies and toys and candy and stuff in saran wrap and race to unwrap it. Just some fun stuff because tomorrow is going to be rainy potentially, so being outside may not be possible. But it's going to be a lot of people. I'm going to make a lot of food, but mostly people, like my daughters, when it's their birthday, they get to pick the menu, and they've always picked peanut butter and jelly, apples, and pretzels, and candy, really. Like, we do a cake for their birthday, but for their birthday parties, they always choose candy instead, so we do candy instead. So it is so easy for me. Like, bless you, children. So that's that. That's everything for right now. I don't know if I'm going to continue on with these new release books, or like my TBR is all over the place for this month. So I don't know when you'll see me next, but for you, it'll be just a minute. So I'll see you in the next clip. Hey everyone, so I put my glasses on my head because I don't want the glare in here, but I wanted to get on and let you know that I'm finally reading another book for this. So it's Monday, June 24th-ish, and we've had a great weekend. We had all the grandparents in this weekend for my oldest. She had 2 softball games, and so my father-in-law is a pilot, so we got to go watch him fly in, and we watched other airplanes fly in and out, and it was really fun. And then we had softball games, and then yesterday we had, I had a small group, and the kids had a pool party. I can't even remember what else we did. But there will be video evidence of our weekend. It was a great weekend, but really full. And then this morning we woke up, and my middle kiddo is not feeling too good. She, I think, is maybe just run down from a crazy weekend of a lot of softball, a lot of visitors, pool party. We went to the pool. We've done a lot of things. But so today is basketball camp for my oldest, and so we did that. And then, yeah, that's what's going on. But I started Nice Work, Nora November by Julia London, and it's cute. So it is about a girl named Nora November who is from a family of lawyers. Can you please stop? Thank you. From a family of lawyers, and she decided to become a lawyer just because of family pressure, and she doesn't want to, she wants to do something in the arts, not law. And whatever. So she is has a near-death experience. She wakes up and they said she was surfing and was under the water for a really long time and was dead for a few minutes, and then they revived her. And so now she's doing like a reverse bucket list because she realizes she's living life in a way that she doesn't really want to. And she saw her grandpa when she was like in this limbo place or whatever, and she like realizes all the ways she misses him and the way that she can like kind of live on what he wanted for her. And I love that granddaughter-grandfather relationship. That is really sweet. So far so good. I'm not that far into it, but I just thought I would get on and say hello. We're actually doing things and life is crazy, but we're going to read a couple more books and see if we can get them in June. So I will update as soon as I have more to say. Hey everyone, so it is Tuesday, and I am just gonna update because we had, so I don't know when I updated, yesterday, maybe, I don't know. I have one sick kid, but she is completely fine now, so I don't know if she was just like, it was just a thing from being a really exhausting weekend or what, but she's fine now. So I took one kid to basketball while the other two stayed home with the babysitter, and now I've got the babysitter for an extra 20 or 30 minutes. So ran by the UPS store, ran by the library, and just picked up some books that were on hold, and that's it. So I have been listening to Nice Work Nora November as much as possible, and I'm like 75% through maybe. So I wanted to get on an update before I finish. So goodness gracious, I feel like I have a brain of like a squirrel because I have no idea what I said before. But this book is about a girl named Nora November. She's from a long line of lawyers, didn't want to be a lawyer, but kind of did it anyway. She was in a surfing accident, had this near-death experience, and now is doing this reverse bucket list. I think I talked about all that. Now she wants to get a new job, and she had an experience where she was like a part of a gas station or like convenience store kind of hold up, and so she met this guy, then they were like hostages, and it was all, I mean, it was very an unexperienced criminal. And so the two were able to like bond and like make jokes about it, even though they were being hostages. And so she can't remember the guy. She's got some sort of like some kinds of amnesia where she can't remember stuff before. And so she can't remember the guy's name, anything. And so she wants to find him. There's also other things going on, but this is definitely, we're getting his perspective as well. So we're getting Nora's and his. And that's actually really fun. And it's interesting, like the reason they didn't connect after the hostage event, like they exchanged numbers and all that kind of stuff, but they both had reasons why they didn't reach out to the other. And there's a lot of conversation around depression, which I think is so interesting and refreshing just to see in like a lighthearted kind of book here, because it just feels very realistic. I personally don't suffer from depression, but I have many friends and family members who do, and the way Nora describes her kind of depressive states, depressive episodes, whatever, feel very like things I've heard in real life. And so that's interesting. And then he is a hospice care worker, which again feels like this book is probably really heavy. It's not. And I really like how the author is doing that and like showing the beautiful side of end of life and showing his role in that. It's just interesting. It's stuff that you don't read about all the time, especially like that's not the focus. That's just part of what he does and who he is. So it's not the focus of the story. And so I'm liking that, but I'm really liking, I would say this is not really a romance because I mean, this far in there's been no romance, but I would say this is a women's fiction about Nora November deciding to live life for herself, and I love that. It's a woman starting over, and it's good. I will say it's not like the most gripping thing ever, and it is kind of broad and not very deep, you know, like I mean, I'm talking about the depression thing, the hospice care thing. Like I said, she saw her grandpa when she was dead for a few minutes, and so they're both into gardening for different reasons, and all of it like there's a lot going on and a lot of side stories and a lot of like elements of who they are that are touched upon but not really explored and not really the point. And so it kind of is a little bit not distracting, but just like we're getting a lot about these characters but not a lot of depth. And yeah, I hope that makes sense. I feel like I'm not being very eloquent right now, but anyway, so far I'm enjoying it. I would say it's probably like a 3.5 star. It's not the best book I've ever read by any means, but we'll see how the romance ends up, because I'm sure they'll come into contact with each other and it'll be great. But I'm liking that she stood up to her horrible parents and is like reinventing herself. I really like that. So I will check in when I finish it. Hey everyone, it's the next day and I am at Starbucks because, pro tip, if you have stars that are about to expire, you can get a brewed coffee, like a regular black coffee. You can get a venti, the biggest size, and you can add shots, you can add creams, you can add all the things in the world that you want. And so I just got a venti coffee that would be $13.23, and yet because I bought it with stars, it was only 100 stars, which for Starbucks fans, like there is nothing less than 100 stars. They just recently like upped it, so like stars are worth even less, but $13.23, you guys, for a coffee. But that's okay, because it's actually for my husband, because last night we had storms in the area, and I've talked about it a million times. My kids have storm anxiety, and I don't know if I like slept through the beginning of it or what, but I woke up to like a huge boom, and I looked at the monitors to see if the kids were asleep, and he was in my big kids room already. So like A+ pat on the back for him, because then I was able to just go back to sleep. My baby does not she's almost 2, but she doesn't care at all. She sleeps through anything. But the big 2 get stressed out. So he was already there. So he's a little tired this morning. So getting him a coffee. This morning was basketball practice, or basketball camp, and I didn't take any videos because you guys don't need to see the same things over and over. And last night, we all took naps actually yesterday, because I feel like we just can't get our feet, like after Annie being sick on Monday, we just can't get like our feet underneath us. So we all took some naps, and then my big girls went swimming while me and the youngest hung out, and I worked on a math graphic organizer, because that's the kind of person I am. We've been trying out different math curriculums this summer to see, because I think it's time for a switch, and I have a huge graphic organizer of all the pros and cons of all the ones we've tried, all the ones I want to try. It's total kindergarten or like former teacher style, because it's rainbow colored, it's all the things. But so I worked on that, and then we did kind of a later dinner, and with my daughter being in basketball camp this week, she just wants to play basketball all the time. So we did some of that, and yeah, that was really our night. So now today, we had basketball camp, did a little school this morning, did basketball camp. Now I'm at Starbucks. I've got a babysitter until 11:45. So that is lovely. I'm going to continue to work on my math spreadsheet while they play in the front yard. And then, yeah, that's it. But okay, the whole reason you're here, 3 minutes in and I haven't talked about a book. So I finished Nice Work, Nora, in November, and I liked it. So I don't have a ton to add from what I've already said, except I really like the whole women starting over thing. I think this is going to be a 3.5 star book for me, because I just feel like the amount of things that it tried to tackle made it so it's not very memorable, and it's not very like emotionally impactful for me. And I really didn't like, so I talked about the mental health representation and the depression that she was suffering, and I get what the author was trying to say. She was trying to say a lot of her depression was because she was living a life so inauthentic to what she actually wanted. I get that, but also like the severity of depression that she had is not cured just by like living a more authentic life. I really wanted more conversation around that. And there were just a lot of things brought up that I would have liked more conversation around in order to like create depth, instead of just like throwing it in there to have another added element. So I like it, but honestly, I don't think it's going to be super memorable for me. So there's that. Now I've started the last one that I'm going to read. The third and final is Cole and Laila Are Just Friends. And this is a Thomas Nelson published book, which I think they used to be, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they used to be Christian fiction and now they're just like clean fiction. But this is a romance about two people who are best friends, and they've always kind of sworn they're just going to be best friends, but they are like each other's everything. And he operates his grandfather's restaurant. And his grandfather dies, and in the will, he does not leave the restaurant to our main character, Ben. And so, Ben, is that right? I don't think that's actually his name. I think that's like my kid's friend from basketball camp. So I don't know what his name is, but Cole, oh my gosh, the title, Cole and Laila. His name is Cole. So he doesn't leave the restaurant to Cole. And so Cole decides, like, his feelings are hurt, of course, and he decides to just up and move to New York. They live in a small town in Colorado, like a tiny town in Colorado. So he wants to move to New York. And Layla's like, that would ruin my life. And so he's trying to convince her to go with him. Still just friends, all that kind of stuff. So it is cute. They have two best friends who are like married to each other. And it's cute. It doesn't have anything that's like exceptional for me at this point. Like, it's a cute read, but I'm okay to pick it up or put it down. And nothing is like I love that friends to lovers element. So I think when the romance does come, I'll be on board. But I don't know. It's just okay for me so far. So as you see, a car is pulling in next to me and that creeps me out. So I will update later. Hey everyone, so it's the next day and I have finished Cole and Laila Are Just Friends. I am in the car because we had our last day of basketball camp, and then I dropped my oldest daughter off because I have a babysitter for a few more minutes. So I ran over to the library and dropped off stuff and picked up stuff. I think I've done that twice this week. And so now I'm just parked at the library, gonna chat with you guys for a minute before I go home. So I liked this book. It's going to be another 3.5 stars. So this is a book about Cole and Laila, who they have been friends since they're kids. Now they're almost 40. Like, he's 39, she's almost 39. And I really love reading about older characters like that. Because not everybody falls in love at 22 and gets married and all the things. And I love reading about other stories. So anyway, however, like their age, the fact that they're 39, I really expected more maturity out of them. Like, they had good communication because they have been best friends forever. They're each other's people, all the things. But just the naivety, especially of her, and like oh, you have feelings for me? Oh, we need to talk about this? Like, that's not a thing anymore. Like, I don't know. So the premise of the book is they live in a small town in Colorado. He runs his grandpa's restaurant and she is a waitress there. Like, their lives are very intertwined. And then his grandpa dies and leaves the restaurant. Like, he had sold the restaurant right before he died. And so now both of them are going to be out of a job, and Cole is really upset and hurt by what his grandpa did, and that his grandpa didn't let him in at all. And his grandpa was kind of a curmudgeon to everybody else, but it was his caretaker. Like, his grandpa and grandma really raised him. And so he's really hurt and gets a job offer in Brooklyn, New York. So the majority of the book takes place actually in New York. Cole and Laila go, and they have two best friends who are Bryn and Sebastian, and they have a house in both places because I guess they're celebrities. I found out that there is a book about Bryn and Sebastian that comes first, and I don't think you need to read that to read Cole and Laila Are Just Friends, but I think it would help, honestly, like, because I didn't really understand how Bryn and Sebastian are so wealthy and all the things. But whatever. So they're there, and like, I also didn't really understand, like, they spend the majority of their time just exploring Manhattan, and his job offer's in Brooklyn. And like, the point I thought of them going was to explore the job offer. So that didn't make a ton of sense, but it was still fun to watch them like roam around Manhattan. And for people who love New York settings, this one's good for that. And so whatever, they're kind of roaming around, and I will say the switch from friends to lovers felt really stupid. Like, I don't know. Again, I don't want to say a whole lot, but like, that's it. Like, okay, so now we're switched, and this hasn't happened in 30 some odd years. And I don't know. It was just okay. And then the end is very convenient. I don't know. It was fine. Like, I love the friends to lovers trope. And like I said yesterday, like, I was obviously bought into the romance because, I mean, they've known each other for so long. They know each other really well. They are really dependent on each other. They were in a relationship just without the physical stuff. And also Thomas Nelson, definitely not Christian. Some lustful thoughts, no open door scenes. This is closed door as far as like that, but there are definitely some thoughts discussed. So overall, I liked this. I would give it probably 3.5 stars. It was enjoyable, but not something that I'm like, you guys need to rush out and pick this up. It was so good, so cute. Because it's like a little bit like dope-de-dope-de-dope. Oh, we like each other, you know, and you're almost 40. Like, I don't know. You've never thought of that before. And there's a little bit of added depth, but not a ton. And I mean, the relationship with the grandpa and all of that is interesting. But we don't get really a lot of it. So overall, it was good, not great. How's that for a recommendation? Not the best. But anyway, so far, so these 3 books all came out in June. All were decently good. So I would say out of the like 100 and some odd that I talked about in June, I'm glad I picked these 3, and I'm gonna keep working on the list as I get them. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you're gonna read any of these books, or if you did read any of these books and what your thoughts were, and we'll see you in the next one.